Hey everybody, I'm Irshad Manji, founder of the Moral Courage Project, and I'm here to answer the taboo questions that you, the viewers, have submitted. I've learned that if people can't ask their questions freely, then the walls of suspicion only go up. Let's bring them down. Question number 1. I've heard that there's no such thing as reverse racism, but I don't understand why that is. Can you explain? So let me first explain what reverse racism means. It's racism that is expressed by people of color, not by white people. And the reason that some people argue that reverse racism can't exist is that biases are not racism in and of itself, that biases become racism when they are backed by power. And a lot of people assume that people of color don't have the power that white people have. So while people of color can have biases, they don't have the power to turn those biases into racism. Is there such a thing as white culture? So let's first define culture. Culture, in essence, means how things are done. Anything from, how we walk, to the clothes we wear, to how we interact with one another, how things are done. And if we define culture that way, I don't think there is such a thing as white culture, to be blunt. Why? Because white people, like all people, are individuals. As much as they may belong to this or that group, they have their own backstories as individuals. And many have different experiences from one another. Numerous white people have different values from one another. So I don't think it's fair to reduce all white people to sharing a single culture. Am I wrong to worry that political correctness is getting out of control? Well, in a sense, you're wrong to worry about it. Instead of worrying, why don't you do something about it? Meaning, get comfortable asking questions out loud. If you think that somebody is self-censoring because they're afraid of being labeled a racist or misogynist simply for, having a point of view, let them know that you're actually okay hearing their point of view, and that if you disagree with it, you hope they're okay with you telling them why you think differently. In other words, instead of worrying about political correctness being out of control, reduce political correctness. Be part of the solution. Don't get anxious about the problem. How do you show cultural appreciation without engaging in cultural appropriation? So first, let's explain. Appropriation. The word appropriation means stealing or thieving. So cultural appropriation means that you're taking something from someone else's culture without giving credit to that culture. So that's how you can show cultural appreciation, by giving credit to the culture. Cultures mix and mingle all the time. Let's give credit where credit is due, like this blouse, made in India, but let's feel okay about living our lives with global influences, because that is, in fact, the way all people live today. Why is it okay to have Black History Month, but not White History Month? Well, some people would say that every month is White History Month, right? Because white folks have had history told through their eyes for centuries. Think about your question in another way. I remember being asked years ago, why can gay people have a pride parade, but straight people can't? And I would ask, do you feel ashamed to be straight? And they'd respond, no, not at all. And I'd say, exactly. It's because queer people have been made to feel ashamed that a pride parade is necessary. Similarly here, Black History Month is necessary in order to see history through a different set of eyes. And I hope that we're moving in the direction when we won't have to have Black History Month, when Black perspectives and everybody else's perspectives will be integrated. How should you call out your elders when they make racist comments? My answer is, don't call them out, call them in. Invite them to a conversation in which you ask them questions like, what did you mean by what you said? And, do you realize that some people could take that as racist? And have that conversation with them so that they understand where you're coming from. If you're going to call them out, then all you'll be doing is making them defensive. And the worst way to go about trying to influence other people, whether they're older or younger, is to make them defensive. No, lower their emotional defenses by inviting them into a conversation rather than forcing them out of what they believe. Thank you, everyone, for your taboo questions. And remember, the next time you have taboo questions, feel free to ask them, but do it from a place of curiosity, not judgment. That'll ensure that conversations are better and freer going forward.